The Galactic Empire had always been the most powerful force in the galaxy. Their ships were massive, their soldiers well trained, and their technology far beyond what any other species could imagine. They had conquered countless planets, bringing every race under their control. Resistance was always short-lived. No one dared to stand up to the Empire, until they discovered Earth. The Empire's scouts had detected the small blue planet on the edge of their territory. At first, the humans seemed insignificant. They had no major space fleets, no advanced technology that could challenge the might of the Empire. But the Emperor believed in crushing all potential threats before they could grow. And so, an ultimatum was sent to Earth. The message was delivered by one of the Empire's high-ranking officials, Admiral Zorak, a stern and emotionless figure known for his ruthlessness. His large, reptilian eyes gleamed as he stood before the Galactic Council's communication system. His voice echoed through Earth's airwaves, broadcast on every device, every screen. People of Earth, Zorak's voice was cold and commanding. The Galactic Empire has allowed your world to exist in peace for too long. You have been watched. Your primitive technology and weak military mean nothing in the grand scale of the galaxy. But now, your time has come to serve the Empire. The message continued, outlining the Empire's demands: total surrender, full cooperation, and the handing over of all Earth's resources. There was no room for negotiation, no chance to argue. The ultimatum was clear: submit or be destroyed. On Earth, leaders from every nation gathered in secret meetings, trying to decide what to do. Fear hung in the air like a thick fog. The Empire was too powerful, too advanced. Some argued for surrender, saying it was the only way to save humanity. Others, more defiant, believed they should fight back, even if it meant certain death. But then, something unexpected happened. In the dark chambers of Earth's highest security base, a group of military commanders and scientists had been working on something new. Something that the Empire's scouts hadn't detected. A secret that could change everything. General Sarah Davis, a tough, battle-hardened woman, was in charge of the operation. She looked at the gathered leaders, her eyes filled with determination. "We've known about the Galactic Empire for years," she began, her voice steady and calm. "We've been preparing for this moment. While they think we're weak, we've been building something they won't expect." Whispers filled the room. What could Earth possibly have that would stand against the Galactic Empire? General Davis silenced the murmurs with a single look. "They think we're powerless," she continued, "but they're wrong. We have developed weapons that can destroy their ships. We have technology that can blind their sensors. We have something they've never seen before, a will to fight that can't be broken." The leaders were stunned. Earth, a planet that had always seemed peaceful, had been secretly preparing for war. "Our message to the Galactic Empire is simple," Davis said, standing tall. "We don't negotiate. We don't bow down. If they want to fight, they'll get one. And they won't be ready for what's coming." As the leaders nodded in agreement, the plan was set in motion. The world would unite under one banner, ready to face the Galactic Empire. The people of Earth would not surrender. They would fight. Far above the planet, Admiral Zorak watched the silence that followed his ultimatum. He expected fear, submission, but something felt wrong. His instincts, honed from decades of conquest, told him that Earth was not like the other planets the Empire had crushed. And soon, he would find out just how right he was. The sky above Earth was quiet, peaceful even, but that peace was about to end. Far beyond the planet's atmosphere, a massive fleet from the Galactic Empire was on its way. They moved through the darkness of space like a storm. Thousands of ships, each one designed for destruction. The Empire wasn't coming to negotiate. They were coming to take. Admiral Zorak stood on the bridge of the Empire's flagship, his cold reptilian eyes staring at the glowing image of Earth on the screen before him. He didn't care about this small planet. To him, it was just another conquest, another world that would soon be under the control of the Empire. "Prepare the fleet for invasion," Zorak ordered. His voice was calm, as if conquering an entire planet was just another day's work. Around him, his officers moved quickly. The fleet's weapon systems came online, shields powered up, and fighters readied for launch. The Empire's ships were larger than anything Earth had ever seen, massive behemoths that could wipe out cities with a single strike. As the fleet drew closer to Earth, the people below had no idea what was coming. In cities across the planet, life went on as usual. But in the secret underground military bases, Earth's leaders were ready. General Sarah Davis stood in the command center, her eyes fixed on the radar screens showing the approaching fleet. The tension in the room was thick, but Davis didn't flinch. She knew what was coming, and she knew what had to be done. "They're here," one of the officers said, pointing to the screen. "The Empire's fleet is moving into orbit." Davis nodded. "It's time." She gave the signal, and across the planet, Earth's defenses came to life. Hidden anti-spacecraft weapons powered up, cloaked ships began to rise from secret hangars, and military bases around the globe prepared for war. The plan was simple: hit the Empire's fleet hard and fast, before they could fully deploy. But they had to be smart. The Galactic Empire was known for overwhelming its enemies with sheer power. If Earth was going to stand a chance, they needed to use everything they had, and surprise the Empire. In space, the Empire's fleet began to spread out, preparing to launch the first wave of attacks. Zorak watched the planet below with cold detachment. "Commence the bombardment," he ordered. The first of the Empire's ships moved into position, and their massive cannons aimed at Earth's surface. But just as they were about to fire, something unexpected happened. Earth fired first. From the planet's surface, powerful beams of energy shot up into space, hitting the Empire's ships. Explosions rocked the fleet as several ships were struck and destroyed in an instant. The Empire had been caught off guard. They had expected Earth to be defenseless, but this planet was full of surprises. Admiral Zorak's eyes widened in shock. "What is this?" he hissed. "How are they doing this?" More beams of energy erupted from Earth's hidden bases, and the Empire's fleet scrambled to respond. Fighters launched, and the ships began to fire back, but Earth's defenses were stronger than anyone had imagined. Down on the planet, General Davis watched the battle unfold on the screens before her. Her gamble had worked. Earth had struck first, and the Empire wasn't ready for it. But she knew this was only the beginning. The real fight was just starting. "We've surprised them," she said to her officers, "but we can't let up. Keep firing. Don't give them a chance to recover." In space, the battle raged on. The Empire's ships fired down at Earth, but the planet's defenses held strong. The Empire was powerful, but Earth was fighting with everything it had, and more. Admiral Zorak clenched his fists as he watched more of his ships explode. This was not how it was supposed to go. Earth wasn't supposed to fight back like this. But now he had no choice. He would have to crush them, no matter the cost. "We'll see how long you can hold out, humans," Zorak growled, "because we're not stopping." This part builds the tension, showing the unexpected strength of Earth's defenses and setting the stage for a larger conflict with the Empire's fleet. The battle in space above Earth had begun, but the real war was about to start. As the Empire's fleet struggled to recover from Earth's surprise attack, Admiral Zorak knew he had to act fast. His ships were bigger and more powerful, but Earth had shown it was not defenseless. The humans were clever, too clever. Zorak stood on the bridge of his flagship, his reptilian face twisted in frustration. "Prepare the first strike force," he ordered, his voice filled with anger. "Send in the ground troops. Let's see how these humans handle real soldiers." Across the Empire's fleet, dropships were loaded with heavily armored troops. These soldiers were the best the Empire had to offer, elite warriors trained in hundreds of battles across the galaxy. Their mission was simple: land on Earth, secure key locations, and crush any resistance they found. As the dropships launched, they cut through the atmosphere like blazing comets. On the ground, General Sarah Davis watched the screens in her command center, tracking the incoming enemy forces. "They're coming," one of her officers said, pointing to the blips on the radar. Davis narrowed her eyes. "Then we hit them before they land. All anti-air defenses target those dropships." Across the planet, hidden anti-aircraft cannons locked onto the descending ships. In a flash, The sky lit up with bursts of fire as Earth's forces opened up with everything they had. Some of the dropships were hit, exploding in mid-air, but others made it through, crashing into the ground with thundering force. The Empire's soldiers poured out of the surviving dropships, their black armor gleaming in the sunlight. They moved with precision and discipline, setting up defensive positions and preparing for a ground assault. But they were not prepared for what Earth had in store. Earth's military had been waiting for this moment. From hidden bunkers and camouflage bases, soldiers emerged, armed with advanced weapons that had been developed in secret. They weren't as high-tech as the Empire's, but they were deadly in the hands of determined humans. General Davis gave the order, "Engage the enemy. Don't let them gain a foothold." The first clash between Earth's forces and the Empire's soldiers happened on the outskirts of a major city. Empire troops advanced, their laser rifles blazing, but Earth's soldiers fought back fiercely. The humans knew their land better than the invaders. They used the terrain to their advantage, setting traps, ambushing from hidden positions, and striking quickly before disappearing. One of the Empire's commanders, a tall, armored figure with glowing red eyes, led a squad of soldiers through a dense forest. They expected little resistance, thinking the humans would run or hide, but they were wrong. From behind a hill, a team of Earth's soldiers appeared, firing at the Empire's troops with precision. The commander's red eyes widened in shock as one by one, his soldiers fell to the ground. Earth wasn't just defending, they were attacking with fierce determination. Back at the command center, General Davis watched the reports come in. The Empire's first strike had been stopped. The ground troops were not advancing as quickly as the Empire had hoped. "They underestimated us," Davis said with a grim smile, "but we're just getting started." On the battlefield, the fighting grew more intense. The Empire's soldiers were powerful, but they had never faced an enemy like this before. Earth's forces were fighting not just for their planet, but for their survival. The will of the humans was unbreakable. Admiral Zorak watched the battle unfold from space, his fists clenched in frustration. His ground troops were being slowed down. He had underestimated the humans, and now they were paying the price. But Zorak wasn't finished yet. He had more troops, more ships, more power. He would bring everything he had to crush Earth once and for all. "Prepare the second wave," Zorak growled. "If they won't surrender, we will annihilate them." This part builds the tension even further, showing the Empire's attempt to strike on the ground and Earth's fierce resistance. The stakes are rising, and both sides are preparing for an even bigger battle ahead. The Galactic Empire's first strike had failed. Earth's forces, with their hidden technology and fierce determination, had held back the invaders. But General Sarah Davis knew they couldn't just sit and defend forever. They had to strike back. In the underground command center, Davis stood in front of a large screen, showing the positions of the Empire's ships still hovering above Earth. Despite the victory on the ground, the enemy fleet was a constant threat. The planet couldn't withstand a prolonged attack from space. They had to go on the offensive. "We can't wait for them to send more troops," Davis said, her voice firm. "It's time to hit them where it hurts." Her plan was bold: launch a surprise attack against the Empire's fleet. Earth's hidden space weapons had already shown they could damage the enemy ships, but now they needed to do more than that. They had to cripple the Empire's fleet to buy time for Earth's defenses. Earth had a secret weapon, something no one outside the highest ranks knew about: an experimental ship built in secret and armed with advanced technology designed to fight in space. It wasn't large, but it was fast and armed with enough firepower to take out even the Empire's baitest ships. The ship, named the Phoenix, was Earth's best hope. Piloted by a small crew of elite soldiers and engineers, it was ready for its first real mission. General Davis contacted Commander James Carter, the leader of the crew. "Commander, we're counting on you," she said. "You have one objective: take out their flagship. If you succeed, the rest of their fleet will fall into chaos." Carter, a veteran with years of combat experience, nodded on the screen. "We won't let you down, General. They won't know what hit them." With that, the Phoenix launched from its hidden base, streaking up through Earth's atmosphere and into space. The ship's sleek black design allowed it to blend into the darkness of space, making it almost invisible to the Empire's scanners. Inside Admiral Zorak's flagship, tension was rising. His ground troops had been slowed, and now his fleet was facing constant attacks from Earth's surface. He had already ordered a second wave of ground forces, but something didn't feel right. The humans were too quiet. "Admiral, we're picking up a small object moving toward the fleet," one of his officers reported, looking at the radar. "It's moving fast. Too fast for a human ship." Zorak's eyes narrowed. "Zoom in. I want to see what it is." On the screen, they saw the Phoenix darting through the debris and wreckage of destroyed ships. It moved with precision, avoiding detection, but now the Empire's fleet had spotted it. "Fire at that ship," Zorak barked. But it was too late. The Phoenix fired first. A bright blue beam of energy shot from its cannons, hitting one of the smaller Empire ships. The explosion rocked the fleet, and chaos erupted. Ships scrambled to evade, but the Phoenix was too fast. It darted between them, firing as it went. On board the Phoenix, Commander Carter and his crew worked quickly, targeting the weak spots in the enemy fleet. They knew they had one shot to get this right. The Empire's fleet was huge, and if they didn't take out the flagship, Earth would be in danger again. "We're coming up on the flagship," Carter said, his voice calm but focused. "Prepare the main weapon." As they approached the flagship, Admiral Zorak's face twisted in rage. "They think they can take us down with one ship," he growled. "Destroy them." The Empire's flagship fired at the Phoenix, but the smaller ship was too fast, dodging the blasts with ease. Then, with one final move, the Phoenix unleashed its most powerful weapon, a concentrated beam of energy aimed directly at the heart of the flagship. The beam hit, and for a moment, everything went silent. Then, in an instant, the flagship exploded in a massive burst of fire and metal. The rest of the fleet was thrown into confusion. On Earth, General Davis watched the explosion from the command center. Cheers erupted around her, but she remained focused. "We've hit them hard, but this fight isn't over," she said. "Prepare for the Empire's retaliation." This part brings excitement with Earth's daring counterattack, showing their bold move to take out the Empire's flagship and deal a critical blow to their enemy. The tension continues to rise as Earth strikes back. The destruction of the Galactic Empire's flagship sent shockwaves through the fleet. Admiral Zorak's command ship, the pride of the Empire, had been reduced to burning wreckage. The remaining ships scrambled to regain control, but confusion and panic spread quickly. The humans had struck a blow no one had expected. In the middle of the chaos, Admiral Zorak's second-in-command, Commander Vera, took control. She was ruthless and calculating, known for her ability to lead in times of crisis. As the flagship exploded, she had already started organizing the surviving ships. "We cannot fall apart now," Vera said, her voice cold but commanding. "The humans have surprised us, but we still outnumber them. This battle is not over." Vira's face appeared on the screens of every remaining ship in the Empire's fleet. "All units, regroup and prepare for a final strike. We will not let this planet defeat us." On Earth, General Sarah Davis knew that the Empire wouldn't give up easily. The destruction of their flagship was a major victory, but the Empire still had enough firepower to wipe out entire cities. She could feel the tension building in the command center as they tracked the movements of the enemy fleet. "They're regrouping," one of her officers reported. "It looks like they're preparing for a counterattack." Davis nodded. "They're desperate now. They know this is their last chance." Earth's defenses were holding, but Davis knew they couldn't withstand a full-scale assault from what was left of the Empire's fleet. They needed one more move to tip the balance in their favor. "We can't wait for them to attack," Davis said. "We have to strike first again. This time, we end it." She ordered the remaining anti-spacecraft weapons to focus on the largest of the remaining ships. Earth's forces had already shown they could hit the Empire hard, but now they needed to deliver the final blow. As the Empire's fleet began to close in, Earth's weapons lit up the sky once more. Beams of energy shot into space, hitting several of the approaching ships. Explosions rocked the fleet, and more of the Empire's ships were torn apart by Earth's relentless attack. But Commander Vera was not easily defeated. She ordered her remaining ships to press forward, ignoring the losses. She knew that if they didn't take Earth now, the entire Galactic Empire could collapse. They couldn't afford to lose. On board her ship, Vera watched the battlefield with narrowed eyes. "Send in the last wave," she commanded. "If we fail here, the Empire falls." The final wave of Empire ships moved toward Earth, their weapons ready to strike. This was their last hope to conquer the planet. Back on Earth, General Davis watched as the Empire's forces gathered for one last push. Her heart pounded in her chest, but her face remained calm. She knew what was at stake. "Hold the line," she said to her officers. "This is it." As the Empire's fleet prepared to unleash everything they had, Earth's forces stood ready. The battle had come down to this one moment: victory or defeat, survival or destruction. This part sets the stage for the final showdown, with both Earth and the Empire preparing for one last desperate battle. The stakes are higher than ever, and the tension continues to rise as the Empire makes its final move. The final battle had begun. The Galactic Empire's remaining ships, battered and broken, moved in for one last desperate attack on Earth. Their weapons glowed with deadly energy, ready to fire on the planet that had defied their power. For Commander Vera, this was their last hope. Either they crushed Earth now, or the Empire would fall. On Earth, General Sarah Davis watched the screens in her underground command center. The Empire's ships were closing in, their numbers still overwhelming despite the losses. Earth's defenses had held so far, but they were reaching their limits. If the Empire got through this time, there would be no stopping the destruction. "Prepare all remaining forces," Davis ordered. "We hit them with everything we've got." Across the planet, Earth's last line of defense came to life. Missile silos opened, and hidden cannons powered up. Every weapon Earth had was now aimed at the sky. The final battle for survival was about to begin. In space, Commander Vera gave the order: "Fire all weapons. We will not fail." The Empire's fleet unleashed a barrage of energy blasts, lasers, and missiles, all aimed at Earth's surface. It was a terrifying sight, a wave of destruction that could end cities in seconds. But Earth wasn't defenseless. As the enemy's attacks rained down, Earth's anti-aircraft weapons fired back with deadly precision. The sky lit up with explosions as Earth's missiles collided with the Empire's weapons. Some blasts made it through, hitting the ground and causing massive damage, but most were intercepted. Earth was fighting back with everything it had, refusing to let the Empire claim victory. One of Earth's officers turned to Davis. "General, we can't hold them off much longer. We need to make our move." Davis nodded. It was time for Earth's final counterstrike. "Launch the drones," she said. In secret, Earth had been developing advanced unmanned drones, small, fast, and armed with powerful explosives. They had been hidden deep underground, waiting for the right moment. That moment had come. Hundreds of drones launched into the sky, cutting through the chaos of battle. They moved so quickly that the Empire's ships had no time to react. The drones flew straight toward the heart of the fleet, targeting the largest and most dangerous ships. Inside her command ship, Commander Vera watched in horror as the drones approached. "Shoot them down," she screamed, but it was too late. The drones struck with precision, slamming into the Empire's ships and detonating on impact. One by one, the giant warships exploded, lighting up the darkness of space with massive fireballs. The fleet, already weakened, began to fall apart. On the ground, General Davis and her team watched as ship after ship was destroyed. The Empire's fleet was collapsing, their last hope slipping away. "We're winning," one of her officers said, almost in disbelief. But Davis didn't celebrate yet. "Stay focused," she said. "It's not over until their last ship is gone." In space, the Empire's forces were in chaos. Commander Vera, surrounded by wreckage and destruction, refused to accept defeat. Her ship, the last major vessel in the fleet, was still operational. She would not surrender. But Earth was ready for her. As her ship moved to attack, one final drone locked onto her position. Vera's eyes widened as the drone sped toward her. "No," she screamed. The drone hit its target, and Vera's ship exploded in a brilliant flash of light. The last of the Empire's fleet was gone. On Earth, cheers erupted in the command center. General Davis allowed herself a small smile of relief. They had done it. Earth had survived. "The Empire won't bother us again," she said quietly. For the first time in history, humanity had defeated a force that had once seemed unstoppable. They had faced total annihilation and won. This part brings the story to an explosive and satisfying conclusion, showing Earth's triumph in the face of overwhelming odds. The humans' final counterattack seals the fate of the Empire, ending the battle with total annihilation of the enemy fleet.